long way for a man. It can help you land that job, close the deal, or even connect with someone special. If you truly have confidence, it starts with looking your best. That's why you shop at Christopher James Menswear. Right now, all the fall fashions are right. New styles coming in daily at Christopher James Menswear now. The finest suits, sport coats, sportswear, denim, and shoes. Christopher James Menswear in Covington Plaza on West Jefferson, 1 block west of Getz.
Now, back to the Hoopy House Halftime Show on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Great job is because you hung tough and even despite that first segment, you came back strong. I was proud of you. I've got Ray.
It's always a great time to hang out with family, and that's what we were able to do. We've got grandkids now and got to enjoy them, and just really back and think about the time where we're at in this great state. Certainly, Labor Day is a holiday to celebrate by many, and the people who work hard. And that goes for our coaches and everybody else that's in the school environment. They're out there working hard in an ever-changing environment to support the student athletes, and not only athletes, but all students in this state. And we're appreciative of the people who choose to do their work in the eye of the public. Sometimes it comes with uncriticisms towards what they do. But my experience as educators always have a pure heart when it comes to wanting to help it, and so certainly want to thank all of our folks who work student athletes.
Well said. I think one of the things that doesn't change about the environment is that this time of year, a whole lot of
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the mic here at Coventry Village. It's the Kester's Postgame Show powered by Pizza Hut here. And boy, we had a fantastic night of high school football all across Northeast Indiana. I'm sure throughout the state of Indiana, it was just as good too. I'm Josh Williams, joined by me, Ross the intern's here. That's right. He'll be keeping track of some of the scores, helping me because, well, you can see we've got a lot to get to tonight. But without further ado, Brett Rump will be joining us live from Pizza Hut over at Southgate, so that'll be fun to have him join us here soon. I know he can his way over there from Bishop Luers Stadium and making his way to that Southgate Pizza Hut. So it's going to be a lot of fun, but let's talk about what we had tonight. We'll start with our H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scored, and we'll head to the Summit Athletic Conference where we saw some good ones, including the game of the week that you just heard, the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week between Snyder and Bluers. This one was a special teams game. I mean, a lot of offense to be found in terms of scoring, but special teams really played dividends here. Both of these two teams, by the way, they came into the night 0-2. Snyder was on the verge of potentially having their first 0-3 start in their program history, but rest assured, special teams got it done. 9-0, Snyder would be able to beat Bishopers there on the road, and they have that first 0-3 start. So, Bishop Luers 0-3, Snyder improved 1-2. Let's move on to our next game, the Summit Athletic Conference. We had the Carroll Charge took on Concordia at Concordia. Well, this one was 42 at the half. Carroll cheers up on this one, and it didn't get much towards the end of the game there. 52-7. The Carroll Chargers would be able to take care of Concordia, and well, Carroll now they get their first season 1-2. Concordia dropped to 0-3 on the season, and I'm on the Zoom here that Brett Rump has already been he's been located over there at the pizza on Southgate. So maybe should I pause the scoreboard update real quick and let the man himself, the Rump Shaker, Brett Rump, how are we doing over there from Southgate?
Well, I have just arrived, so we are just getting ourselves situated here at the K Pizza Hut. If you attended the Bishop Luers game against Snyder, well, we invite you to stop. It's a perfect nightcap to a pride of high school football, is getting on your Pizza Hut app, ordering something up, picking it up counter here at Southgate. You want to take it home, or you can hang out with us right here at the Southgate Pizza Hut. Of course, a big night of conference play tonight, so we've got tons of conference games to look at. We've had a number of blowouts. We've had any surprises at this point, but I am going to be looking at some of the stats, getting you updated on everything that's happened. It's the game that we had at Bishop Luers. The Knights offense continues to struggle. The Snyder defense shut them out 9-0. A couple of opportunities for Bishop Luers offensively. They had a fumble when they got close to the red zone to start the second half, and then they had a fly pattern down left sideline, got an open receiver behind the Snyder defense, and unfortunately, the throw bounced right out of the receiver's hands. It would have been a touchdown, and at that point, you wondered if that was all that it was going to take, was just some kind of score. We're sitting at 6-0 for a long time in this game, but Bishop Luers eventually did not get another opportunity. Fall 9-0 to the Snyder Panthers. I guess, you know, there was drama, but if you like offense, this probably wasn't the game for you. 3 field goals, we never had a touchdown scored. Tell you what, I can't remember a game that we've done in our 15 years of doing high school football here at 1380 The Fan at 100.9 FM that we did not have a touchdown through 48 minutes of football. That's what we had tonight. So Snyder win 9-0. For the Panthers, they avoid the 0-3 start that they have never had in the history of Snyder High School, where Bishop Luers falls to 0-3 for the first time since Kyle Lindsay's full-time year as the head coach. That was back in 2013, and they also lose for the 12th straight time to Snyder Panthers head-to-head. So it's been a while since Luers has knocked off Snyder. They had chances, but again, it's a young crew. of young skill players with sophomores at quarterback, running back, and at two of the key receiver positions. And tonight, the youngsters just could not get a scoreboard. Back-to-back shutouts for the Bishop Luers offense. They've gone 10 straight quarters without scoring a point. So it's been kind of tough for the Bishop Luers Knights in the last couple of weeks. But Snug gets on track after giving up a bunch of points. It's 1 and 2. They get the shutout tonight. They feel good about what their defense was able to do. Even the offense is struggling for Bishop Luers. Snyder took care of business, put up the shutout, and their defense helps them a 9-0 win.
Outstanding. I'm not sure if you saw this one just become, I wanted to skip the Allen County Athletic Conference, Brett, because this, a barn burner in the second half between South Adams at Bluffton. It was 21-7 South Adams at the half. Guess what the final? 44-41 Bluffton, improving to 3-0 on the season. I can't imagine it, Brett. I'm sure you would have loved to have that call in the second half. Plenty of offense there, buddy. But I think it's time to get Chinquet Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard going, and let's resume in the Summit Athletic Conference there. Just heard about the Snyder at Bishop Luers there, 9-0. The Homestead Spartans, they were on the road at Southside, 14-3 at half. Homestead would have a pretty darn good second half, winning 30-10 over Southside. And of course, Homestead now improves to 2-1 season. Southside drops to 0-3. Of course, let's get you an update here on the Northeast 8. We're still looking for a score from Northside at North. It was 10-7 at the half. We'll work on get you a final there. But in the Northeast 8, we had Columbia City taking on Belmont Admont. 41-6 at the half. The Eagles were up, and boy, they was in the second half too. 61-6. Columbia City all over Belmont there. Columbia City now 3-0. Belmont 0-3 now on the season. Next game up in the Northeast 8, DeKalb was taking on New Haven. DeKalb led 24-0 half. We're waiting on that game to become final, and we'll work on that score there too. Huntington North was at East Noble tonight. East Noble led 27-0 at the half, and they would go on to win 39-0. East Noble taking care of business there. They improved to 3-0. Huntington North there 0-2, 0-3 now on the season. But let's go Leo at Norwell as well. Leo Lions, they led 28-7 over Norwell, and they would win this game 35-7. Leo now 3-0 on the season. Norwell 0-3 there in the Northeast 8 and overall. In the Allen Athletic Conference, Adams Central was traveling to Muncie Central. Adams led 27 at the halftime, and they would go on to dominate this in half, Brett. 41-13, Adams Central all over Muncie Central. That's the final there. Adams were 3-0 now on the season. Johnny, they were on the road at Southern Wells. This game was a tie, one at halftime, 7-7, and we got to see Southern Wells take control in this game. They would edge out County there, 21-14. They now get that win of the season, 1-2 on the season. So here we are. South Adams was at Bluffton, and of course this one was 27 at the half there with South Adams in front. But that's the one we just told you there, 40-41. Bluffton coming back and take care of business. And then the last game in the Allen Athletic Conference, we had Woodlawn at Heritage there, 21-7. Heritage led at the half. Heritage Cruz 42-21 there is Lionel. Heritage improves to 3-0 on the season. Northeast Corner Conference, well, we had Busco at Garrett. Garrett led this 17-0, and well, they didn't score any more points in the half there, but the final would be 17-7 Garrett. Garrett, of course, gets that first win on the season. They're now 1-2. Still working on the final from Fremont at Angola, so work on getting you that. Lakeland at Free Heights was also a 26-0 ball game at half. Lakeland was up. We'll work on getting final there as well. West Noble was east side. This one was 14-14 tied at half, and then east side be able to take care of business. 27-24. East side improving to 2-1 on the season. And for our independent look tonight, Blackhawk was at West Westdell, 21-0 at half. Westdell, and they would go on to dominate the second half. 2-0 Westdell wins. And Brett, that's your H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scored update. We'll work on getting you those finals, Brett. What were your thoughts on some of these games that we got to see?
Well, I can tell you this, the NE8 went close tonight. I mean, it was pretty much blowout city, 61-6 Columbia City with the rout against Belmont for the Braves. They've now lost, I believe it is 34 straight games and counting. Wow. Might even be 35 now. You know, at one point you just almost don't keep counting because it's almost interesting to continue to count the consecutive losses for Belmont. You really feel for those kids because they go out, they practice just as many hours, they commit just as time to football. You'd love to see be able to turn a corner and find a way to get a win, but they're not even coming close right now, and Columbia City really put it on them tonight. East Noble, I mean, what a job that East Noble's doing. 39-0 tonight. They the win over Huntington North. That East Noble squad's making a statement, and it's basically a couple of Phillips brothers. And I've been saying during the summer, I gave the tip that Austin Phillips was a guy to his name in the back of your mind. This was a guy that was going to make some noise in high school football. And he was going to be able to do it as early as this year, where he is a freshman. He's younger brother of receiver Alex Phillips, and he's getting his chance because of an injury to their star running back up at East Noble. Austin Phillips, get these numbers. Tonight, carried the ball 9 times for 173 yards, averaged 19.2 yards per carry, scored a touchdown, reception. He is a freshman, and so he is going to be a nightmare for NE8 coaches over the next 3 years, 4 years. And his older brother, Alex Phillips, had a couple of rushes for 16 yards, averaged 8 yards a carry, but also caught 8 balls and 78 yards with 2 touchdowns. Big night for the Phillips tandem, the two brothers. They put on a show for Kendallville. And this just in, coming up in the weeks, we plan to be in Kendallville for that showdown between the Leo Lions and East Noble Knights. And Leo, of course, took care of this tonight against Norwell. That one on the road, East Noble, or Leo rather, started at home, 2 home games. And they won those. Now you had to see, can they take a show on the road? And they did. They were impressive, 35-7, the win over Norwell. So Leo and East Noble, both perfect, 3-0 so far in this season. And so that showdown coming up in 2 weeks on September 19th up in Kendallville. No atmosphere like an East Noble atmosphere Friday night. It is going to be fantastic. We're looking forward to that game. And of course, they both got some business to take care of next week, but we are expecting that game will feature 2 wins when we see them coming up in 2 weeks. And I'll tell you, I'm impressed with DeKalb. They've played some pretty good defense so far. They get the win over New Haven. I had this one picked wrong, thought that New Haven at home, that would be the difference, but the Bulldogs failed to score at home. DeKalb beats them 24-0, and that's big home losses for New Haven after they were beaten soundly by Northrop at week 1. But of course, the big game in the SAC was Northrop. And Josh, you've got to fill me in because this score came before I was connected. I've got to know who won the Northside game tonight. How did that game fit up?
Well, let's take you to the H&K Chevrolet New Haven scoreboard, Brett, and we'll head to the Summit Athletic Conference where Northside was at Northrop 10-7 at the half. We got a final at 26-16, North on top of Northside.
Big start for Northrop, 3-0. Of course, we knew that Northrop was going to have some offensive weaponry, and we thought if David Allison stays healthy, he's got the receivers able to sling it too. But number one, could they protect him? And number two, could they stop him? Because the problem with Northrop has been over in recent years, they might score 40, but they're up 41. And right now, defense is playing much better. That's a sneak team. That is one of those teams. If you look around the SAC right now, it does seem pretty wide open. Carroll may be the favorite, especially on the big school side. But Northrop's a team you do not want to get matched against, especially if you get to the postseason where they're playing right now, because they've got such big play capabilities. They've got guys that can break big plays at any time. They've got a quarterback that can get them the ball. If they protect, they take advantage of these skill players and get the ball in the hands of their playmaker. That's a very dangerous Northrop squad. And I know a lot were split. Some thought that Northside had an advantage. Northrop, I felt like Northrop just had too many playmakers for Northside. So that is a big win for the North Bruins tonight. And we'll have to look into the stats, see exactly how that happened. Another game that was very impressive. Bishop Dwenger beating Wayne 46-0. And basically, they did all of the damage in the first half. I was shocked. I got this score, and I thought the person who sent me the score might have had a typo when they said it was 40-0 in the first half. It was 46-0. Bishop Dwenger last year really struggled offensively. And they've got Henrich back. He's healthy. They've got a couple of backs that I know they believe in. Dwenger has a certain confidence in this group, and they didn't show it in week one, but week two they looked pretty impressive, and now here they are in week three, just putting an absolute smashing on Wayne. Very impressive work by Bishop Dwenger. So I don't know the story of the night so far. Is it blowouts? I mean, that's kind of, you like to talk about the drama that you see around some of the games. Josh, I'll tell you what, maybe it's just you. Maybe, Adam gives me closer scores than you do. Maybe it's you.
I wanted to make this easy on you, Brett, because I know that you haven't had a chance yet to get your, but we beat you to it. I had a chance to go over and get myself a little $5 flatbread. The chicken ranch one is phenomenal if you haven't. So, I don't know, Brett. It might be time to take a little break so that way you can go get some grub and get some energy back into you, because we got a lot of score to get back with you.
Well, I do have to say that, Josh, I don't know if you realize this, but it is National Cheese Pizza Day. So if you just wipe the toppings off your pizza, then you can actually celebrate in style. So if you order pizza tonight, you might, and maybe your favorite pizza has, the meat lovers, or maybe you have some other favorite pizza that you like. But go ahead and order one extra pizza, get the cheesy pizza, or just a cheese pizza. The pizza that's got a special on it right now, cheese pizza, $9.99. You can get that through your Pizza Hut. But you got to celebrate when you find it's National Cheese Pizza Day. You got to be able to at least have some moment of celebration. So get cheese pizza. All right, we will go ahead and take a break, and we will come back. It is live from Pizza Hut here. It's the Kisters post-game show on 1380 Fan and 100.9 FM.
Experience a world of flooring excellence at Three Kings Flooring on Lima Road. From mixed-fit hardwood to inviting carpet, innovative luxury vinyl to enduring laminate and tile. The design specialists at Three Kings Flooring can find the perfect choice any room in the house. Three Kings Flooring has served the community through 3 generations.
Juicy prime rib, tender pot roast, chicken wings, breaded fish, ham, turkey, brisket, all on one plate. Add buttery mashed potatoes, fresh yeast rolls, cheeses, soups, and a full salad bar. Your feast with a slice of Wix pie and our mouth-watering dessert bar. For more info, visit us online. That's Act 40 Junction in Decatur.
Welcome back to the Kester's Postgame, powered by Pizza Hut. I'm Josh Williams. Alongside me, we got intern Ross here, and Brett Rump is at the Pizza Hut in Southgate tonight. Well, before we get you back over to Brett Rump, let's get you caught up H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard. And we'll start on the Summit Athletic Conference, where Knight Carroll, they were on the road at Concordia, and they would win this one 52-7, pick their first win of the season. Bishop DeWayne was at Wayne, and Bishop DeWayne, as Brett was talking about before we went to break there, 46 left at the half, and that would be all the offense that DeWanger would need. They would win that one 46-0. They improved to 2-1 on the season. Side was at Northrop, and a 10-7 ball game half saw Northrop become victorious. We did score correction. 25-16. Northrop was the winners there. Snyder Bishop Lures, that was our Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week with Brett and Shannon on the call. And special teams would win the day 9-0. Snyder avoids that first win 3 start in program history. Wrapping up the Athletic Conference, Homestead was at Southside. And this one would see Homestead, the Spartan, come victorious 30-10 over Southside. Homestead now 2-1 the season. Shifting gears now to the Northeast Conference, we had Columbia City at Belmont, and well, 41-6, that is what Columbia City led by. They'd go on to have more of a domination there in the second half, winning 61-6. Columbia City, an impressive 3-0 start. DeKalb was at New Haven. DeKalb led this one 24-0 at the half. They would go on to win 40-20 over New Haven. Huntington North at East Noble. East Noble was leading 27-0 at that. They'd go on to win this game 39-0. East Noble now 3-0 on the season. Leeds at Norwell, and well, the Leo Lions, they had 28-7 at the half, and they would go on to win this 35-7. They're now 3-0. Norwell 0-3. Shifting gears now to the County Athletic Conference. Adams Central at Muncie Central, a battle of the Centrals there. Adams Central at 20-7 at the half. They'd go on to a pretty good second half too, especially offensively. 40-13. Adams Central would win, improving to 3-0 on the season. Jay County was Southern Wells. Tie ball game at the half, 7-7, but it would see Southern Wells win 21-15 over Jay County. Now it's Adams at Bluffton. This one was a 21-7 ball game. South Adams was leading, but boy, oh boy, what an offensive showing we had in the second half. 44-41. Bluffton winners over South Adams. Now Woodlawn at Heritage. 21-7 to break. We had Heritage in the lead, and it would get a lot better for Heritage. They would win 42-21. Heritage improving 3-0 on the season. To the Northeast Corner Conference we go to. We had Cherubusco at Garrett. Was leading this one 17-0 at the break, and well, they would go on to win it 17-7. Garrett, it's their first win of the season. 1-2 they are. Lakeland at Prairie Heights, 26-0. Lakeland led at the half. They would go on to win 40-6 over Prairie Heights. West Noble was at Eastside. Another tie ball game at the half. This one was a pretty good one, and it would the finish here would actually be even better too. This one would be a 20-24 ball game. East side would be win over West Noble. And Blackhawk at West Dell, 21, and West Dell was in the lead at the half, and they would go on to dominate and cruise in the second half, 42-0 there. West Dell, the winners. That's your H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard, and we're heading back to the Escape Pizza Hut. That's where our man Brett Rump is handed by. Brett.
Obviously, very professional set for Josh there at the mic. If you haven't checked it out, should. The beautiful new home, Federated Media here in Fort Wayne, and he is broadcasting live from there. I am live at Pizza Hut at Southgate, so there's still time for you to pop out and join me for the show as we broadcast live, wrapping up a Friday night of high school football. We got our buddy Ryan Eaton weighing in, of course, is a huge Lakeland Lakers fan, and they win the game easily. They end up with a dominant win over Prairie, but Ryan is telling me all the mistakes that Lake made, but that's just Ryan. His expectations way up, skyrocketing. But big win for Lakeland. So I guess the game of the night might have been the West Noble Eastside, but I will say that's a very impressive win for Eastside. They went, they kind of slid last couple of years, but that's been one of the better programs of the NEC over the last 6, 7, 8 years. And West Noble, of course, had the 2 or 3 year run where they were fantastic. And getting those two hooked up, I think they both make a statement in the Northeast Corner Conference. The Eastside prevails, gets that 3-point win. So very impressive win for Eastside. But let's talk about the SAC. Had some one-sided games, and I got to tell you, Josh, sitting here, going through some of the box scores, and this is one of the fun things when we are able to get the box scores delivered to us, and I've been kind of just scanning through some of the box scores that have been to me tonight, and trying to open them up now because I've lost them somewhere in this laptop. I'm not as used to it as the other laptop. Okay, here's the one I was looking at that I'm just shocked by. Total yards tonight in the Bishop Dwenger win over the Wayne Generals. And we talked about this game getting out of hand, and Bishop Dwenger racing out to the 46-0 lead in the first half against Bishop Dwenger. But I think the stats even spell out a more dominant performance by Bishop Dwenger.
Here's what we've got for
total yards in this game. Bishop Dwenger, total yards 318. Now you might they would be a little higher than that, scoring 46, but they had 318 total offensive yards. Wayne minus 15.
Total for the game.
For the game.
They had negative
total yards. Minus 15 yards rushing by Wayne. It's that Bishop Dwenger defense. So if we're passing out trophies tonight for great performances, we've got to give one to the Bishop Dwenger defense. Actually holding Wayne to negative yards on the ground and 15 total yards of offense. That's a heck of a performance by the Bishop Dwenger defense.
Absolutely, Brett. And hey, we did just get final score from the Northeast Conference here. So let's hit the HNK Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard. Fremont at Angola, and Angola was all those one, 34-0. They shut out Freeman, who actually came into tonight's game 2-0. And they pick up their first loss of the season. Angola it's above 500 at 2-1 now. But that was the last remaining score that we were without, Brett.
So the scoreboard
is complete. The H&K Chevrolet Haven High School football scoreboard. And, of course, Josh anchoring our scoreboard desk back at the mic. And that is our new home office over in Coventry, off of I-69 and West Jefferson. Also looking at some stats tonight, Carroll with the minute win over Concordia. Carroll aced out in this one and led 20, I think it was 28-0 at halftime. But here's the only thing about Carroll so far. Somehow, 9 in that offensive staff, they're going to have to figure a way to run the football and try to balance the offense. Because if this team is going to be successful, especially if they're going to have any postseason run, they have got to take some of the pressure off that passing game with Preisinger. He had a good night. He was 9-12, threw for 196 yards. Of course, you can always be a better quarterback if you get it into the hands of Jaden Van Pelt, and he did that. Van Pelt ended up with 2 catches for 93 yards, including an 18-yard touchdown run or touchdown catch for Jaden Van Pelt. He is a big playmaker for Carroll. But when you look at Carroll on the ground tonight, they carried 18 times, only 68 yards, a net of 54 yards. So officially 18 carries, 54 yards. I don't know if you aced math, Josh, but I can tell you that is 3 yards a carry. That is good enough for Carroll. They're going to have to figure out a way to get more in the balance of the offense. They can throw the ball. We know that. They've got Bakers on the outside, Mason Bachman, of course, Harrison Shaley, and Jaden Van Pelt, the aforementioned Jaden Van Pelt. So they've got guys that can make plays. And of course, I didn't even mention Logan Heath, and we saw him make the plays last week. But they got to be able to run the football. And right now, Billy Lauer, 9 carries, 33 yards. You had Eli Newhouse carry once. He got 13 yards. He's primarily the middle linebacker for the Carroll Charge defense. So they've got to figure it out and get a running game. But a big win for Carroll over a Cordia team that they should beat with domination. They did. Of course, a lot of the first week games in the Sun Athletic Conference looks like big division, small division.
Sometimes you'll get
mismatches. We have those tonight. Certainly some runaways. And you know, Josh, looking at a full moon across the way, we were in the Bishop Lures press box. And so I think the full moon might have had its effect tonight with some of these blowouts.
Oh, indeed, Brett. And, you know, you were just talking about Carroll's, well, lack, I guess, of game. But in that Summit Athletic Conference, we talked about this Bishop Dwenger at tonight. You know, it was a 46-0 win there for Bishop Dwenger. And get this, Campbell, 8 rushes tonight, 107 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. You want to talk about making sure that you add another dimension to your team. Bishop Dwenger's got it. They could throw the ball, and the bell cow that they have in Campbell, 107 yards tonight. I mean, that's a heck night.
The Bishop Dwenger Saints truly believe they can kind of be old-style Bishop Dwenger, which is play defense, stuff the opponent, and then be able to pound the rock physically with running the ball, that they don't have to rely on the pass, and the quarterbacks need to manage the game and maybe make an occasional play. Basically what we're seeing out of Dwenger, but this game I did not see coming. I don't think anybody saw this coming, that Bishop Dwenger is going to put that kind of a number up on Wayne in the first half. And I'm trying to see, there had to be some mistakes along the way, whether they're turnovers or what.
But of course, you can always
let us know. You can text us. You can comment on the stream and give us any kind of comments, whether you're connected. Now, I'm going to let you this part, Josh. I'm going to let you go through and talk all the ways to connect, because not only are we radio, where we've had a home for 15 years here at Pizza Hut, but also we have a stream that's available to you to watch the show. If for any reason tonight, it would have to be to see Josh Williams, because you really, you know, your Friday night, I don't need to haunt you. It's not Halloween season yet, but I'm on there.
If you want to take a look.
But we've got multiple ways for you to be able to follow what we're doing here tonight.
Of course. And well, get your notepad ready, or I guess your first ready, right? If you can, please don't do it while you're doing though. Hey, we are on the YouTube page, and all you have to do is go find 1380 The Fan on the YouTube page. We're also live on Facebook right now too, so at the 1380 The Fan Facebook page, you can find. We're working on getting the stream set up for Twitter, but that's another installment that will be coming. If you've been tuning in since week 1, you could see that this has been evolving. We finally have our guy live from Pizza Hut out there, so you see that every week that you come back, it might be another wrinkle that's going to be added. I know that we're getting a ticker at the bottom of your scene. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, that's actually going to have a running ticker of all the scores that have become final. So this thing's going to keep developing. But yes, if you're so into, please, not only on the radio, 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM, but you can now watch us. You can stream us on 1380 The Fan Facebook page, or 1380 The Fan YouTube account, as you could be able to find us, Brett.
Now, we are broadcasting live at the Southgate Pizza. They've had a stream of people. Most of them are coming in and picking their orders. I will let you know, Josh, because I know you're very concerned about making my pizza because, well, I don't get dinner on Friday nights. And so usually my dinner comes at midnight when I finally get home after doing the show. I pick up a pizza, I take it home, and sometimes I cheat. So I not only get a Friday night dinner, but I have a Saturday lunch, I have a Saturday dinner, and I have maybe Sunday lunch because, that's the great thing about pizza. Whether cold, reheated, whatever, you gotta love pizza all weekend long. And so I'm always enjoying pizza with the football that I enjoy on the weekend. But I did get my order in. I will have my pizza before I leave tonight. So you're not the only enjoying pizza here on National Cheese Pizza Day. I will be enjoying it. And I'm embarrassed to admit that we talked about it, that I am leaving with my favorite pizza, not a cheese pizza. But
you got to tell us what it is.
But tell us what it is, Brett. I'm dying to know.
I order it every single week and have. I'm just not that original. I have ordered the same pizza for, well, I'm trying 15 years, 200 sometimes probably. It is a large pan pizza with American sausage.
Okay.
You can have the Brett Rump Special, large pan American sausage. That's what I take home on Friday. I find that the extra buck to get pan over the toss, the extra buck is worth it. It lasts at least one extra meal over the weekend. So I'm set. I'm taken care of all weekend long. Once again, stop in and say hi here at Southgate Pizza. And of course, as you can see, I can't see, but you can see that watching us, that Josh is at the anchor desk. At the mic in Coventry. It's our new building, our new facility with all kinds of fancy, sparkly toys. We like to show off, so showing that off with the scoreboard tonight while I bring you everything that's happening here. Hoping that maybe we can get a coach to join us. I know it's kind of some new technology, and the coaches are quite adapted maybe to it yet, but we'll see if we snag a coach. Of course, Coach Edmond might be someone that we would talk to. Snyder with the 9-0 win over Bishop Lou. It gets Snyder in the win column. After a couple of losses in non-conference, they get a win. Plenty of things for Coach Tippmann to work on, but one thing that he's got to be pleased with is while the offense is a work in progress, the defense did the job in pitching the shutout. So we'll see who we can talk to before we wrap up at 11 o'clock. But we're going to take a break. When we come back, Josh is going to give you the complete H&K Chevrolet of New High School football scoreboard. We've got all the scores for you in Northeast Indiana. That comes up next on the Kester's Postgame Show live at Pizza Hut on 1380 Fan and 100.9 FM.
Edding Insurance is an independent Medicare insurance agency in Haven, Indiana. They understand that navigating Medicare can be overwhelming.
Kester's postgame powered by Pizza Hut. I'm Josh Williams here at Mike in Coventry Village. Brett Rump is standing by. He is over at the Southgate Pizza Hut, standing by with all of everything that you know of what happened tonight. But before we get you back to, let's talk about the H&K Chevrolet of New Hampshire scoreboard. And we'll start in the Summit Athletic Cops. Carroll at Concordia. Carroll will win in dominant fashion. It's 50-7. They improved now to 1-2, picking the first win of the season. Bishop Dwenger at Bishop Dwenger led 46-0 at the half, and that's how it would stand. 46-0 be the final. Bishop Dwenger 2-0 now on the season. Northside at Northrop, 10-7 ball game there. Northside was in the lead, and well, Northrop would come back and win this one, 25-16. Snyder at Bishop Lewis. Well, this was a second ball game there at the half. Snyder in the lead, and well, one more field goal later, they win 9-0, avoiding at first 0-3 start in program history. Homestead was at Southside, and they would win 30-10 there. Homestead would, and they would now improve to 2-0 on the season. Shifting gears now to the Northeast side, Columbia City at Belmont, and Columbia City rolling to a 61-6 win there. 3-0 Columbia City, looking mighty good the Eagles are. DeKalb was at New Haven, 24-0 ball game. DeKalb at the half, and they would go on to win that one 40-20. DeKalb picking up a good win there. Huntington at East Noble, 27-0. East Noble led at the half, and they would go on to 39-0 there, improving to 3-0 on the season. The Leo Lions were at Norway, and 28-7 was the halftime score of the Lions. They would go on to win 35-7. Leo Lions 3-0 on the season, well, 0-3. Shifting gears now to the Allen County Athletic Conference. We had Adams Central taking on Muncie Central. Adams Central, no problems here. They would win 4-13. Adams Central improving to 3-0 on the season. County was at Southern Wells. Tie ball game at the halftime, 7-7. But Southern Wells would prevail 21-14 at the end. They now are 1-2. Southern Wells picking up that first win of the season. South Adams, they were over at Bluffton. 21-7 score at the half there. And this one, we saw a lot of offense in the South. Boy, oh boy, 44-41. Bluffton would be the winners there at explosive offensive outputting there second half. Woodlawn at Heritage, 21-7. Heritage led at the half, and Heritage would roll in the second half, 42-21. Heritage now 3-0 on the season. East Corner Conference time. Let's go to Cherubusco. Garrett led this one 17-0 at the half. They would go on to win 17-7, picking up their first win of the season, now 1-2. Let's go to Fremont at Angola, and finally got this one a little bit late there, but this was all Angola, 34-0. Fremont came into this one 2-0, and Angola now leaving 2-1 as we get above 500 with that 34 to win. Lakeland was at Prairie Heights. It was all over, 26-0 at the half, and they'd go on to extend that one, boy. 40-6 would be the final there for Lakeland. And of course, West Noble was at Eastside. High ball game at the half, and Eastside, they were 27-24. And our independent conference here, let's go with the Blackhawk at West Dell. West Dell was leading 21-0 at the half, and they went on to handedly take care of business in the second half, 42-0. Brett, that's your H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard. Let's get you back out to Pizza Hut with Brett Rump.
I think I should probably ask, because now that I'm watching the stream, I see two of you, and only one of you is talking, so maybe you should introduce the guest on the set that you've got next to you, Josh.
Yeah, let's introduce Ross Gosnell. You know, technology, I'm working on trying to unmute him, but I think he's got to unmute himself here. But this is Ross Gosnell. He has been our intern here at 1880 for the last 2 years. Just finished up. He's actually at Huntington University now, but Ross has been here when we fill out the games, and also he helped set up the PSM tail pregame show over at Bishop Lewis. I am getting the evil eye now, I bet. I'm sorry for messing that up. But yes, he has been here helping out, and he's going to help us out throughout the rest of the season, whatever we need.
You know, I know he has been doing a lot of work tonight with the high school football, and I thought, now that I actually see the stream, we've got a person sitting there that has yet to talk. They've just sitting there in the camera, and I'm like, people are probably wondering, Rick. Was this a guy who just wandered in and happened to sit down next to Josh? Josh used to tell him we're in the middle of a show here. But so Ross, nice work tonight. Nice work.
Thanks, Brett.
All right, so got to talk about what's happening at SAC because we look at Northrop's side. A huge win, a statement for Northrop because and a couple of non-conference wins over teams. Yet the jury is still out. How good is New Haven? How good is Huntington North? You're sure in either front if they're at their best. So Northrop gets convincing wins over both. And now tonight we thought would be the true test for the Northrop Bruins when they take on a very athletic Northside squad. Of course, Jalen Smith, part of the coach staff over there at Northside. And Northrop wins somewhat convincingly. So huge win for the Bruins, who get off to a 3-0 start. They're 1-0 in the conference. And I was just to take a quick look at Northrop's schedule because I'm like, okay, so far they've passed three tests. When does this start getting tougher? And the next will be interesting. Northrop goes on the road to Homestead to take on the Spartans. And, you know, the Spartans, they've struggled, but they did get a win tonight against Southside as they're trying to find their footing after losing their senior quarterback very first week of the season. But they put a point night against Southside, so that'll be interesting as road tests for Northrop next week. They've got Concordia. Right now it just looks Concordia, maybe not a team going to give Northrop trouble in week 5. But then it gets interesting because you have Dwenger, Snyder, and Carroll in back-to-back weeks for the Northrop Bruins. Weeks 6, 7, and 8. So that is where we really find out about North. They might be sitting 5. They might be sitting 5-0 when they start that stretch. And it reminds a lot about the Columbia City schedule for years in the NE8. In fact, I think it'll be the same schedule because I don't think the NE8 has ever changed their schedule. But for years, Columbia City would race out and start 5-0, and then they would have to play all the toughest teams conference back to back to back, and they would end up 5-4. They would end up 6-3. But they would fool us by running out 5-0 record because they didn't play the toughest teams in the conference in the first 5 weeks. Northrop kind of similar in the way their schedule sits out. Northside was expected to be a test. They passed that. Homestead. What can the Spartans do? They're still trying, like I said, to find themselves with a quarterback that they didn't think would be their starting quarterback, but he's getting better week by week. Then you've got Concordia before you have Bishop, Snyder, and Carroll. Remember, Northrop is at Snyder this year. Which means Northrop will play at Snyder, but it will play at Northrop, if you can follow along. Snyder's still playing at Spooler Stadium on the campus of Northrop High School. So really, after they play the 2 weeks at Homestead and at Concordia, Northrop not get on a bus to go to a football game. They'll have Dwenger at home, Snyder, which will be played as Snyder being the home team, but it will be at Northrop. Then they will have Carroll and Wayne both coming into Spooler Stadium. So travel won't be a problem for Northrop because they'll play at home every single week the rest of the way after they get to Concordia, and that game is on September 19th. So September 26th, October 3rd, October 10th, October 17th, all of those will be played at Spooler Stadium for the Bruins. So great start, Quentin Bowen, 6-26 coming into tonight. He was 4-26 in his first couple of years, his 3 years as the Northrop head coach. But what a turnaround so far this year for Northrop. 41 points in the opener, 31 points last week in a win against Huntington North, an impressive win against Northside. got to be pretty impressed with the Northrop Bruins have done so far. Right now, 1-0. Obviously, they are sitting in the top part of the Athletic Conference. And if you look at the standing right now, Northrop is 1-0, Dinger is 1-0, Homestead is 1-0, Carroll's 1-0, and Snyder is 1-0. What is the common theme here? All five of those are in the A division. So tonight, all of the A division schools beat all of the B division schools. So the Summit Athletic Conference is divided right now with the 1-0 records in A and 0-1 records in B. But now we start to see some of those A versus A, B versus B matchups as we move forward. All right, we want to get a scoreboard, Josh, and I know you've got the full list scores tonight. We'd love to pose as long as often as possible because we know it's what you want to know when you hit the button and tune into the video program. So let's go ahead and give H&K Chevrolet of New Haven High School football scoreboard with Josh Williams.
All right, Brett, let's get to it. We'll hit the Summit Athletic Conference. The Chargers, they were 52-7 winners over Concordia, picking up that first season. Bishop Dwenger, they were 56-0 winners over Wayne. They now get the 2-1 mark on the season. Northside at Northrop, what we saw Northrop become victorious 25-16 there. And Snyder at Brewers, which was our Midwest Box Breaks High School football game of the week, with Brett and Shannon on the call. All special teams here for Snyder, but it gets it done 9-0. They avoid that first 0-3 start in program history. The Spartans were at Southside, and the Spartans, they Sparty on 30-10 as they were winners over the Southside there, and they get down to 2-1 on the season. Fun fact there, all Summit Athletic Conference teams, all of the teams, they were victorious tonight. Over to the Northeast we go. That's where we had Columbia City at Belmont, and well, Columbia City, the Eagles, they soared 61-6 in this game, 3-0. They are 3-0. They are on the sim. DeKalb was at New Haven, 20-0 DeKalb at the half. Well, they would go on to about 16 more points, 40-20 there. DeKalb winners over Haven. Huntington North at East Noble. Noble, no problems here, 39-0. East Noble advancing 3-0 on the season. The Leo Lions, they were at Norwell. Leo all over the Norwell Knights there, 35-7. Leo Lions, they advance up to 3-0 on the season. Shifting gears now to the Inland County Athletic Conference. Adams Central at Munn Central, a battle of the Centrals. This one saw Central have no problems here. They would win 40-13 here. Adams Central now 3-0 on the season. Jay County, they were on the road at Southern Wells. Tie ball game at the half here. One of the few that were tied up at halftime. But the second half would see Southern Wells take control. They would win 20-14. Southern Wells now 1-2 on the season. South Adams, they were on the road at Bluffton here. 21-7 score at the half. South Adams was in the lead. Boy, oh boy, what an explosion of offense there in the second half. Bluffton, they would come out victorious 44-41 and a barn burner of a second half. Woodlawn, Heritage, 21-7. Heritage was in at the halftime, and we got to see Heritage take care of business 42-21. Heritage now 3-0 season. Let's head to the Northeast Corner Conference. Cherubs go at Garrett. Garrett led at the half 17-0. Well, they wouldn't score any more second half points. Defense only gave up 7. Garrett wins 17-7. They pick up their first win of the season, 1-0. Fremont was at Angola, and Angola took care of business here, shutting out Fremont, who came into the night's game 2-0 on the season. Well, Angola got the business, 34-0 there. Winners, Angola now above 500 threshold at 2-1. Lakeland's over at Prairie Heights, and Lakeland, they took business here too, 40-6. Lakeland in business. They're now 2-1 on the season. West Noble was at East Side. There's another one. That's the second one that was tied up at the half, 14-all. And East Side would be victorious at the end, 27-24. Side 2-1. West Noble, they dropped to 2-1 as well. The independent here will go with Blackhawk at Westdell. 20-0 halftime lead for Westdell, and Westdell would dominate the second half, 42-0. And Brett, that's your H&K Chevrolet New Haven scoreboard update here. And then back to you, buddy.
From the mic at our brand new Federated Media building at Coventry, it is Josh Williams hanging out with Ross the intern. Well, I have to tell you, I was looking at some of the stats of this Eastside win over West Noble. Impressive win for Eastside. We talked about it earlier. 27-24 was the final, as you just told us, on the H&K Chevrolet New Haven High School football scoreboard. What a night for Job Richmond. I think it's Job. It could be Job. J-O-B. Job Richmond, the running back for Eastside, carried it 36 times tonight in the football game. I don't know about you, Josh. I'm sore just saying that. 36 rushes for 228 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Big night for Eastside on the ground. They outrush West Noble. Remember, West Noble, of course, they got hit by graduation. But they had a great running game the last couple of years. But West Noble's been known as a good running team. Eastside outrushed West Noble tonight, 275 yards to 50. That's how Eastside ended up winning. In fact, statistically, like Eastside should have won this game even more, 27-24. But a big night for the Eastside Blazers. Congratulations on their win. And we do have to talk when we return from the break a little bit about what is ahead next week, Josh, because as the finals that we have gotten tonight, they have set up what could be a spectacular Friday night next week. And we'll talk about that when we return. We've got scores, we've got a look ahead, we've got so much more live here at Southgate Pizza Hut. It's the Kester's Postgame Show on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Even though H&K Chevrolet is new to New Haven, they're hardly new to the business, founding their first dealership in
Welcome back inside the Kester's Postgame Show by Pizza Hut. I'm Josh Williams. Brett Ross over at the Southgate Pizza Hut. I got Ross Gosnell right next to us, SRE Internet 1380 The Fan, who I guess is not an intern anymore. But let's get you your H&K Chevrolet New Haven scoreboard update. We'll start at the Summit Athletic Conference, where we saw the Carroll Chargers with 52-7 over Concordia. Dwenger also taking care of business tonight over Wayne, 46-0. They were winners there. North was at Northrop, and well, Northrop also taking care of business tonight, winning 25-16 over Northside. Now, our Midwest Box Breaks High School Fall Game of the Week was the Snyder on the Bishop Lures Knights, 6th in score. A lot of special teams in the first half, had a little special teams in the second half there. Snyder would win 0-0. They avoid that first 0-3 start in program history. Homestead Spartans, they were out south side. Homestead would go ahead and have a dominating second half, 30-10. Homestead now 2-1 on the season. Over to the Northeast State Conference go. Columbia City at Belmont. Columbia City, the Eagles were soaring in the first half, but boy, they were even more in the second half. 60-6 winners. The Columbia City Eagles were over Belmont. DeKalb at New Haven. DeKalb 24-0 at the half, but they go on to win 40-20 over New Haven. Huntington North at East Noble. East Noble had no problems here. They shut out Huntington North 39-0. East Noble now 3-0 on the sim. The Lee Alliance at Norwell. Lee also no problems here, winning 35-7. Leo over now is 0 on the season. Norwell 0-3. Over to the Allen County Athletic Conference, where we Adams Central, Muncie Central. Adams Central, sweat in this game, 41-15. Adams Central now 3-0 on the season. Jay County at Southern Wells. This was tied up 7-7 at the half. Southern would go on to be victorious, 21-14. South Adams was at Bluffton tonight, 44-41. Bluffton, I guess, outpaced South Adams in a game that was only 21-7 at the half. That was a barn burner. Bluffton 3-0 season. Woodlawn at Heritage, 27 Heritage led at the half, and Heritage have a big second half too. 42-21 there. Heritage 3-0 on the year. Northeast Corner Conference, let's head to Chair who was at Garrett. Garrett led 17-0 at the half. They go on to win 17-7. Garrett picked that first win of the season at 1-2 now. Fremont was at Angola, and Angola all over this one. 34-0 was your total there. Angola now gets above 500 there. They improved to 2-1. Fremont drops first game of the season, and they're now 2-1 the year. Lakeland was at Prairie Heights, and Lakeland all over this one, 40-6 there. West Noble at East Side there, another game at half, 14 all, and East would go on to win this one, 27-24. Blackhawk at Westdell, so Westdell 21-0 at the half, and Westdell would win 42-0. And Brett, that's your HK Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard update. How's it hanging over there, buddy?
I'll tell you one thing real quick. We've got bus scores, and that's something that Adam probably didn't fill you in on, is that when we have some other scores of interest for local teams, we like to just toss them in on the high school scoreboard. So I'm going to give you the couple bonus scores, because tonight the Indiana Fever, huge game. Of course, the news that Caitlin Clark is not going to be back this year. But the Fever still in a position to make the playoffs. They're on the Chicago Sky tonight without Angel Reese. The Fever win by 20 at home and almost hit the century mark. They win at 97-76. That's one step closer to a playoff position, because the Los Angeles Sparks lost to the Dream. So it was 1.5 before tonight, now 2.5. In fact, I'm not even so sure that the Fever didn't wrap up a playoff spot with that outcome tonight. So they're on the verge. If they haven't wrapped it up already, they're right on the edge of wrapping up a playoff spot. And the Tin Caps have ended the streak. We've got to get out there, Josh. What was it? 9 games?
9 games. It was an impressive. It was an impressive streak.
Is it impressive when you lose 9 in a row? But that's what the Tin Caps. They struggled to get a victory, and they got in tonight against the best team in the league. They got a win over West Michigan, 6-1 the final. Tin Caps with the win. We got to get that out there. And also big thanks to the Tin Caps who are so gracious and understanding, and they move over to the streams. We can bring you these high school sports programming specials on Friday night on radio. So big thanks, Mike Nutter, Mike Limmer, and everybody with the Tin Caps for understanding and moving over to the special stream, where they will be on Sunday when they wrap up the season. Not on a losing streak anymore. They'll be over there on stream because the Colts will be on the radio as the Colts try to end their streak. You know about that streak, right, Josh?
2013. I was a senior in high school the last time on a home game, a home opener.
Man, yeah, I was a senior too, but in high school. I just was a senior. But anyway, we've got the Colts and the Dolphins. You're home for the Colts year long right here, 1380 The Fan, 100.9 FM. Going to take a break. When we come back, we're telling you next week because we got a big one on tap. We'll be here to talk about it when we return on the Kester's Postgame Show live at the Southgate Pizza Hut on 13 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Planning your company gathering or holiday party? It's the time to reserve your date at Back 40 Junction Cater. Our spaces fill up fast and for good reason. Treat your or loved one to a feast for all.
Welcome back to the Kester's Postgame Show by Pizza Hut. I'm Josh Williams here at the Coventry Village. Brett Rump is also with us tonight. Is over at the Southgate Pizza Hut. And Ross Gosnell, too, the intern, and he is here with us. Ross, go ahead. Unmute your mic. You can say something to the people who are listening tonight.
Like what?
Okay. Well, hey, let's get to the H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard update. The Summit Athletic Conference where the Carroll Chargers win over Concordia 52-7. Bishop Wenger had no problem at all tonight against Wayne, winning 46-0. Northside was, they fell to Northrop tonight. Northrop won 25-16 over Northside. The Midwest Box Breaks High School football of the week saw the Snyder at Bishop Lures 9-0. Snyder would win. They avoid their first 0-3 start in program history. Homestead Spartans at Southside, and Homestead had no problem in the second half, winning 8-10. Over to the Northeast 8 we go. Could be a City at Belmont. Columbia soaring like the Eagles they are. 61-6 they win, improved to 3-0. DeKalb at New Haven. DeKalb winning 40-20 over New Haven there. Hunting North at East Noble. East Noble, no problems, 39-0. They're 3-0 on the season. Leo at Norwell. With Leo Lions, they roar tonight, 35-7 over Norwell. Over to the Allen County Athletic Conference. Adams Central at Muncie Central. Adams Central taking care of business tonight, 41-13. Adams Central 3-0. Jay County at Southern Wells. We saw Southern Wells become victorious tonight, 21-14. They're 1-2 in the season. South at Bluffton. Well, Bluffton would win a sprint to the finish line, 44-41 there against South Adams. Woodlawn taking care of business. Heritage taking care of business at home tonight against Woodlawn, 42-21. At the North Corner Conference we go. Churubusco at Garrett, and Garrett winning 17-7. They get their first win of the season. Fremont at Angola. Angola win 34-0 tonight. Lakeland at Prairie Heights. Lakeland over Prairie Heights here, 40-6. And then, of course, West Noble at Eastside. A tie game at the half, 14-all. So Eastside win 27-24. And Eastside now gets above that 500 marker at 2-1 on the season. Blackhawk at Well and West Dell led 21-0 at the half. Not much there in the second half, but a whole lot more scoring. 42-0 West Dell wins. And Brett, that's your H&K Chalet of New Haven scoreboard update. How's it hanging at the HUD?
Well, another big game that happened tonight that we haven't talked a lot about. Bluffton with the win over South Adams, 34-41. Heck of a battle by the Starfers to make that game interesting down the stretch. And next week, Bluffton with Woodland. And then you've got Heritage at South Adams. So this is going to be a big game because Heritage is off to a great start. South Adams obviously believes they can compete with some of the teams, including Bluffton. Adams Central, good impressive win. They had kind of a sluggish start to the season, but they beat that Eastside team that beat West Noble tonight. Adams Central beat Eastside last. This week, Adams Central dominates on the road at Mount Central. And so Adams Central will be at Jay County next week, but interesting in the AAC. But the big one is where we're going. We picked it right, Josh. We've got Bishop Dwenger at Carroll next Friday night. Oh, man, right now, I can't wait. I'm going to sleep all week. It's a huge game next Friday with the Saints marching in to take on Chargers. So we should have a great Friday night next week. It starts with the Parkview Sports Medicine High School football tailgate pregame show live from Charger Stadium. We've got play-by-play of the Saints and the Chargers, and after the game, I'll be shooting down to the Pine Valley Pizza Hut, and Tim Lundy is going to make his return and show off his amazing tan next Friday night. Right there at the mic. You must tune in. And once again, don't forget, we are streaming, and so you want to be able to watch us. You can not only watch us live when we do the show. If you missed it, maybe you listened to it, but you'd like to back and look at it just to see how goofy we actually look while we're doing this show. You can't do that because the videos are not on stream live, but then they're saved, so you can go back and watch them here. They're at Facebook and YouTube. And, of course, 1380 The Fan, the place to search and find all that. And we would love and appreciate if you do that. Okay, I'm going to send it to break. When it comes back from break, Josh, you're going to do the score and wrap up the program. I'm going to go grab a pizza and head out, but appreciate everything you've done tonight. You've helped an amazing job setting up for the pregame and taking care of everybody tonight, making sure everything ran smoothly. I think we got through it. Appreciate you too, boss. Next time Josh asks you a question, though, you got to be ready to come with an answer, man. You're a career in radio. You got to come fired up. All right, so I'm going to send it to Jake. When Josh comes back, he'll give you scores and wrap this baby up. It is the Custer's Post Show live at Pizza Hut on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Crete Automotive Service is proud to once again support high school football.
We also saw Snyder win against Bishop Luer. That was a tough contested ball game there. Nothing at the half. Snyder would win 9-0 to avoid their first 0-3 start. Homestead Sparks also winners 30-10 over Southside. To the Northeast State Conference we go. Columbia City at Belmont and Columbia City all over Belmont 61-6. City 3-0 now on the season. Winners over New Haven 40-20. Huntington North at East Noble, and East Noble, boy, at home they are as good as ever. They won 39-0, 3-0. The East Noble Knights are. The Leo Lions took on Norwell tonight at Norwell, and Leo had no problems here either. 35-7 over Norwell. 3-0 Leo is. Norwell 0-3 they are. Let's head to the Allen County Athletic Conference. Adams Central at Muncie Central, and this saw Adams Central win 41-13. Jake County, they fell to Southern Wells. Southern Wells winning 21-14. Blood had no problems against Adams Central. Well, at least in the sprint race there at the end, 44-41 and wins. We also saw Heritage. They took care of business against Woodlawn, 42-21. And the East Corner Conference, Cherubusco at Garrett. Garrett had problems taking care of business, 17-7. Anglo were winners over Fremont, 34-0. Lakeland gets the win over Prairie Heights, 46. And how about Eastside winning against Westville, 27-24. And Block fell to West Dell 42-0. That's going to do it for us. I'm Josh Williams. That's been Ross Osnell. Brett Rump was just with us. Thank you for listening to the Kester's postgame show powered by Pizza Hut. That was your H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard update. We'll see you next week, same time, just for that Parkview Sports Medicine high school football tailgate pregame show at 6 o'clock.
Thanks.